Here are 7 sexual questions to ask a girl, and how to use them to spark attraction, to build tension, all while not being a weird, creepy dude. Most guys try to avoid sexual tension, then they end up in the friend zone. Or they come off too try-hard and too sleazy, and then it just completely kills the vibe. So we want to find that perfect middle, and I have that for you today. These are my 7 go-tos. They are tested, they work with our coaching clients, they are guaranteed. Now I'm gonna give you the exact questions, the techniques behind them, and how to say them with a certain confidence that actually gets her to lean in. And stick around, because number 6 is going to unlock the truth about her more sexual side. Number 1, what's something wild that you've done that most people would never guess about you? So I should mention, when do you say something like this, or even the rest of these questions? You're gonna say it after you've built some strong rapport. So you can ask these on a cold approach, but it can't be in the first 2 minutes. It should be after you know that she's interested in you and she's invested in the conversation. You can also ask these at a good time on a date when things are going really well. Okay, so back to this one. This is a soft opener. That's kind of the whole point of all of these, is it gives her room to be more playful and a little spicy if she bites. So what we're doing is we're throwing these questions out there to see if she takes the bait. The bait meaning seeing how comfortable she is talking about more of those deeper things, or things that can allow her to be more sexual with you. It builds this intrigue, but what it also does is it builds this safety, right? Because you're not being so explicit, you're just being curious. And it's a great question just to get to know somebody, like how to know what people think of her, what people wouldn't know about her. So it's a good question all around. But what if you want to take it a step further and plant more of a sexual seed without being too graphic? Well, here's number 2. And this is again after some serious rapport has been built between you two. And you're in this kind of light, funny, joking sort of vibe, and you say this: you look like the type who's like secretly freaky but hides it well. So it's almost like you're kind of teasing her a little bit, and you're not saying it in the seductive tone. You're saying it more playful, teasy, matter of fact. That balances out not being too overt. This one works really well because it's assumptive, it's bold, it's playful, and you get to test the waters to see how she responds. She might slap you playfully, she might even answer the question, even though it's a bit rhetorical. It just allows for this fun and flirty vibe between you and her. What if you can get her talking about her actual turn-ons without asking directly? That's what number 3 is for. Be honest. Have you ever had a fantasy that you've never told anyone? As you can see, that might be a little bit more intense. We are getting a little bit deeper here. Good. We're trying to push the envelope a little bit. So we're asking her, but again, not in that intense way. This gets her thinking about her imagination, maybe some past experiences, maybe just her fantasies. It might even potentially, if you ask it in the right way with good eye contact, turn her on a little bit and build sexual tension. The pause after this is key. Let her fill the silence. Let her answer the question. I call this technique the fantasy flip. But what if you want to make this even more playful? Well, here's number 4. And what I call this one is the playful dilemma game. You say, would you rather have amazing chemistry with someone once, or have so-so chemistry with someone forever? Now this is going to be an appropriate question pretty much anytime, even if you guys really just met. You use this to then see if you can take things further. What does chemistry mean to her? Maybe you can even say about sexual chemistry, because there's all kinds of chemistry, sexual chemistry, as well as just romantic chemistry. Here's one that you could use that's similar. So this is just another example. Once you've built a lot of rapport, you can say, would you rather have amazing sex with one person in one weekend, or just have so-so pretty good sex with someone forever? It feels like a fun game, it's fun to answer, and people like the would you rather questions because they like being able to tell about themselves and play that game to figure out which one they like better. It's a little mental exercise. Now, if you want to get her to imagine herself doing something bold, here's where number 5 comes into play. I call it the desire discovery prompt. Here's what you say. What's something you've always wanted to try, but you haven't yet? Now, this is something you're only gonna be asking once you guys have broached the topic of sex. So once you are there, then you can ask this question to go deeper. If you guys are just having very friendly, normal conversation that's not spicy at all, and then you bring this up, it's going to be strange. But if you bring this up after that fact and she knows that she feels safe around you talking about this topic, it's going to be a great segue to go deeper. Now you can even use this when you're not talking about sex and just say, what's something that you've always wanted to try but you haven't yet? And see how she answers. Maybe she answers more spicy, maybe she doesn't. Maybe the conversation takes an interesting turn to talk about these sexual things that are more interesting. Now this next one goes a little bit deeper. And this one works very well because women like to talk about this. They have an opinion on this. Here it is. I call it the sexual identity frame. You ask this question: do you think you're more dominant or more submissive in the bedroom? And you'd be surprised. A lot of women will like to answer this. They like to talk about it, they like to explain, and if you guys have built enough rapport, you can even go more specific. So you can say, oh, what are some of those things that you like when you're being more submissive or more dominant? And you're asking her about her nature. You're trying to get to know her a little bit. You're showing that interest. So if rapport has been built and you ask this question, then it's only gonna make the connection even more strong. Most guys are trying to avoid this sexual tension, but there's gonna be a moment when you guys have been talking about this stuff and the tension is so thick that you can cut it with a knife. So what are you supposed to do? You wanna make sure that you're building some more physical tension. So I want you to check out my TRIPS tension technique. It's a free video where you'll actually see me build tension and go for a kiss, and how to break that touch barrier to go for a kiss. It's 100% free and you can get it down below. I'll send it to your email and you'll see an exact demo of what to do to build that tension. Get that right now and I'll see you on the next video.